following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Well, good afternoon and welcome. Today's guest, Bree's back. We're very excited today. She decided to come be a co-host once again. So today we're going to talk about hair extensions a little bit. We're going to talk about boomers, millennials, and a few fun things. But before we get started with that, guess where I went today?
Where did you go?
I went to see Sharon at
Of course you did.
With this beautiful cover-up, this nice necklace. She has a lot of Brighton clothing, accessories, this beautiful bag with the little sunglasses. So definitely check her out. She might have a surprise if she hears that you've been watching our show. So go check her out. So how you doing today?
Doing okay.
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 A little fuzzy?
Yeah, well, you know, boys are hitting the terrible twos.
Oh
so
my goodness. Running around.
It's been a little bit of a challenge, and we're on a little bit of an Easter hangover. That bunny brought lots of sugar, and you know.
You're not having too much of that, are you?
No, not me.
No, you being good?
I'm trying to be good.
New energy stuff keeping
That's
you
right.
going?
Yep. Thriving, baby.
You're thriving, baby. Very excited. So they had a good Easter?
Yeah, they had a really good Easter. Lots of little toys and goodies that the bunny left.
Mine was not that eventful. We kind of installed a new fence, so part of the new fence. I got to take my granddaughter to Toys R Us, and she had more fun looking at everything than really wanting everything.
That's okay, though. That
So-
saves Nene some money.
Yeah, we got her little Barbie car to go with her Barbie dream house. She's only 3 years old. And we got our little Easter bunny basket, 50% off
Hey,
Easter.
might as
you know.
well.
I was surprised they're actually open. So that was pretty cool. So let's talk about hair extensions a little bit.
Okay.
I think the audience would be very surprised to know that we both actually have hair extensions in.
It's true. Last time I was here, I had my mom hair, very short bob, and now we've got these long, luxurious locks.
Yeah, and your hair was a lot of different colors. So we kind of did transform you from what you had going on to this beautiful look, which is gorgeous, very shiny. You have the fuchsia and black hair extensions. And I'm sporting the ombre look. I have decided to do the hair extensions for me because I've been growing my hair out. I'm a hairstylist. People that know me, like last summer I was platinum blonde, short hair, had some, you know, fuchsia in my hair for a little while. So I've been growing it out. So it's a lot of fun. It's natural looking, and just kind of take a little piece out to kind of demonstrate. At our salon, we use SoCap hair extensions, and they're keratin bond, so they're pretty cool. And we put them on with a machine. And
A little hot tool.
a little hot tool. I'm into hot tools these days, between the hair extension machine, the glue gun, and everything else going on for the fashion show. So I love the hair. Did you love the hair?
I do. It feels
it's-
awesome. It's natural hair. It's not the synthetic stuff. It doesn't feel like plastic. This actually grew on somebody's head before they so graciously donated it to me.
I know, right? This is kind of like a, I don't know.
It's like a pale
like a
pastel
like
pink.
maybe like a pink champagne.
Yep. That's one of
color.
the in colors for spring this year, the pastel pinks and purples.
So I decided to kind of bring a couple of these just so that the audience could get an idea of kind of like, you know, how that works. And these, you can get them in a shorter length. If we're going to do long hair extensions, we just kind of go with the long ones. And that way we can kind of work it up to where we want, blend it in, you know, with our own natural hair and stuff like that.
Yep.
And nobody would ever know. It's pretty cool.
Until they start, you know, running their fingers through our hair.
Yeah,
but
they're like,
that's a whole
oh, what's that?
My cousin actually touched the back of my head the other day and freaked out a little bit because she never touched anybody's hair with extensions.
I know, when I
before.
first started getting into doing the hair extensions and wearing them, I was like, you know, I was dating, you know, my husband, and I'm like, oh, is he gonna touch my head and, like, you know, get freaked out, because you don't advertise at first that you're
Right.
wearing the hair extensions. You want people to feel, you know, to look at you and say, oh, that's your real hair.
Well, it is my hair. I paid for it.
Good point. Good point.
It's my hair.
So no, it is real hair. It's fun, and I'm always doing different things with my hair. You're always doing different things with your hair, and that's how we show people, give them different ideas on what they can do. So, so that's our little tidbit about the hair extensions for today. Let's get into, I went to an Aveda Business Builder workshop. Got a lot of great information, learned a lot of different things. So I've always known the word boomers, right?
As in baby boomers?
Baby boomers. So you kind of were researching this for me. So baby boomers are from the year 46 to 64.
Yeah. So they started booming or being born after World War II.
Okay.
And then it just kind of snowballed from there. There's the boomers 1 and the boomers 2. So after World War II and then after the Korean War, those were the babies that were born after all the soldiers came home and surprise.
Right. And people might be wondering, well, why are they going to talk about boomers and why are we kind of getting into this conversation? Well, this is going to lead up to why I kind of am getting into this conversation, because the millennials, which are the younger generation, which are like my daughter's age, is a huge difference from the baby boomers to the millennials.
Well, even to the Generation X that's in between, which is where we're kind of falling into.
Right. And even more so because you're kind of in between.
Yeah,
where
I'm on the cusp of both.
I've been without the computer world, no cell phones, any of that, and kind of you were barely on the cuff.
Computers were in the school, but they were like the first generation, big, huge Macs that took up the whole desk. And it was a big thing to get to play the snake game or some silly little thing just to learn how to type. The first generation of all of that. I started school in the mid to late 80s. Middle of the 80s. I was born in 81. So I'm on that cusp of the Generation X where they were just ending and the millennials were just starting to come in. So I know what it's like to not have a cell phone. I know what it's like to not have a computer in my house and not have information at my fingertips all the time. I had to look it up in the encyclopedia. I had to go to the library.
My goodness.
Even when I was in high school, I had to do my book work. I couldn't just Google it and have it pop up. There was no Google when I was in high school.
Yeah,
so
and I don't think my children have ever picked up an encyclopedia.
Probably not.
Yellow pages, all of these things are, no longer. It's funny because I get a little yellow book dropped off at my business or whatever. I'm like, I don't need it.
Right.
Everything, and it's too bad because it's a waste. Some people probably still, use it that aren't,
There's
up to par
that
with the
older
technology.
generation.
But yeah, so what brings me to this conversation is the whole millennial thing, because I've had kind of right over the baby boomer. I've had people work for me, and I have worked with people kind of all over the generation charts, you know? And I didn't even know that word existed, that any other word but the baby boomers existed. So today with the millennials, you have to get down to their, I don't want to say their level, but their way of thinking. And I've recently, I've learned that. I'm like, oh my goodness. Wow, I get it now. There was a gentleman at the seminar, and I want to say he's probably 60 years old, and he owns an Aveda school. And he mentioned, I say, one more time, you're going to have to kick me. So he was talking about if he has a problem with an employee or if there's things that, are going on, they text him. He goes, how about you just come to my office? No. They want to text. They don't want to go sit in your office. They don't want to have the one-on-one conversation. That's how they handle things. So somebody like us, we're having a hard time with that. We're like, but I'm the owner, I'm the manager, I'm the this or that. I need to talk to you.
Right.
One-on-one.
Face-to-face conversation.
That's how I get through my day. That's how I resolve the issue.
Well, that's how we were taught. A professional manner was if you have any sort of problem professionally or It was a respect thing. If you wanted to talk about something important, you needed to do it face to face. You
Right.
didn't do it in writing. You didn't do it on the phone. You said, I need to meet with you. I have something important to discuss. And it was a respect thing. And not saying that this generation coming up doesn't have that respect, they just do it differently.
Right. They do, and they do.
It's more efficient.
Yeah, they do respect our generation, I believe, and even like the older generation. But this is all that they know.
Right.
This is all they know.
Right. Instantaneous gratification.
Right. And they need to be rewarded.
Yes.
Oh, you did such a great job, and I have a hard time. I mean, I say you did a good job, thank you, so forth, but they really need to hear it, and it's really hard for us to kind of keep up and to have that mentality to be at their, the way that their mind is processing on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
They may be just kind of maybe a little spacey or a little out there. They need tasks. They need to be rewarded.
Well, they've also had that, I don't want to say helicopter parent, but they did have, our generation tended to, and I had my kids a little bit later, but they tended to hover over their kids. Maybe it was because they felt guilty that they were working out of the home and the kids were in school or daycare. So when they were at home, they scheduled every single thing. Whereas when we were kids, go outside, play, street lights come on, come home.
Yeah,
we didn't have that structure, and they were structured from birth. You have gymnastics today, soccer tomorrow. When you come home, you need to do your homework, and then you have to have your art activity, and you have to have this and that. And so now that they're adults and they're moving out into the workforce, they need that extra gratification. They need that extra encouragement to say, hey, you're doing a good job. Yeah, I see you. You're doing awesome. Go you. And we didn't learn how to do that.
I know. I mean, I remember growing up, I was lucky to be able to take a dance class.
Right.
Or my brothers played baseball, but it was like one thing.
Right.
That one season, and that was it.
Right.
You're right. Today, I raised my kids. They played basketball. They
Right.
went to dance class.
And
they played soccer and, whatever. I mean, and they were never too busy. It was kind of like always one thing.
Right. And that's
season.
good for them. It does give them some structure and teach them responsibilities and how to manage their time and that type of stuff. But then there's too much.
Yeah. And I think a lot of families today are just getting their kids into every little thing. And it's right. I mean, I hear my clients talk all the time. Oh, let me check my schedule. I have, my son has soccer, and my other son has football, and my daughter has dance class, and it's a lot. You have 2 or 3 or 4 more kids.
Yep.
It's a lot to. I have 3 daughters. It was kind of like sometimes I had to drop one kid off at the soccer field, go to the other one because they're in 2 different divisions.
Right.
Well, how am I going to do that?
Right.
So it's quite interesting to see how people used to do things. And I mean, my parents both worked, but there were in that generation where a lot of the moms, were able to stay home. Today's day and age, you're lucky if you can stay home,
Right.
to raise a family, because you need the 2 incomes to raise a family today. It's very expensive.
Yes, it is.
So it's a different ball game. It's a different world, and I just found it so intriguing, and I was so appreciative to be able to learn this about the kids today. I have a 19-year-old, an almost 21-year-old, and a 23-year-old daughters, and you don't really see it. I don't really kind of see it throughout my own kids because they're my kids. I've raised them.
Right.
But when you deal with hiring other younger generation, I guess I see the difference now. You know what I mean?
Yep. It makes you understand kind of where they were coming from, and
Yeah. It's
light bulb moment.
a light bulb moment. Yeah. But it's interesting. I think it's a good conversation piece. I think it's good to have other people aware of the situation. I mean, I own a business, but I never knew that,
Right.
this is where we need to be in today's day and age.
Right.
So I'm going to do my future, things differently with.
Well, it helps you understand a little better, when you're having that conversation, when they do something that all of a sudden you think, why? Like, why are you doing this? That light bulb will go on and you'll say, oh, well, this is why. And so then you can change your communication.
Right. You have to have your foundation, your structure within your business, whatever it is that you do. But you definitely have to give more consideration
Absolutely.
to their minds, their Facebook, their Instagram, their Twitter, their Snapchat. They're on their phones. This is the way they communicate. And we really have to be okay with that to a certain extreme.
Right, right. As long as it's not interfering with the quality of their work, then you kind of have to let a little bit of it go. But that's also how they're going to build their clientele and their business, because it's just going to keep getting more and more connected. We think we're overly connected now. It's just going to get worse.
I know. I can't imagine. Like, what's going to come after Facebook now?
Right.
What could possibly, I mean, it was,
Twitter.
No, what was before Facebook?
MySpace.
MySpace.
now we're dating ourselves. Yeah, nobody uses MySpace anymore.
I created like an account that I never even used, but that was the first access that my kids kind of had, I guess, and MySpace. And I think people probably thought, what would go beyond MySpace?
Right.
And now you have Facebook, so what could possibly be the next best thing after that?
Well, there's Twitter and Snapchat and Instagram.
Yeah, I guess
something else is going to come up.
I mean, yeah, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It's a full-time job.
Right.
You know, if you want to have a business builder creating all these different things on Facebook and other areas, I want that magic button that I know there is, you know, we have
Well, there are people that's their job. They are social media managers, and they sit behind the computer and they work for other companies, and they build.
We could pay somebody to do that all day long, but
we just need to hire a millennial.
Hire the millennials. Here, this is your job. Plug us away every day. All right, so I just want to kind of touch on that a little bit, because it really kind of broadened my mind of understanding them a little bit better and how you see everybody all the time. I mean, even us adults, sometimes we can't put the phone down. It takes a lot of our time.
Yeah, I'm guilty.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not too bad, but I find myself sometimes just
sitting there, you think you have, I got nothing better to do.
Yeah, exactly. I'm watching TV. Oh, let's check out what's going on Facebook and who's doing what, where.
And then all of a sudden hours have gone by and you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
There should be like a little, people should do a test. Kind of hit a timer. Click in and click out every time you go on social media in a day's time, and actually see how much time you would gain back in your life.
If you just put the phone down.
If you didn't do that. Like if you said, all right, for a week I'm going to put this, I'm not going to go there. Right?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be good for me, for Green Ivy Salon.
Nope.
But, you know, if you don't own your own business, or if you're not, you know, marketing something.
Right.
It's different.
Yep.
But I guess we're all trying to market something one way or the other.
Yeah, everybody's selling something.
You know? So, all right. So that's enough of that. Very exciting new news that I learned there. So I'd like to talk a little bit about, Aveda has some new things coming out. One is about the Invati system. So for people who don't know about the Invati system, it's 33% naturally derived to increase the growth of your hair. It's not going to, if you're bald, it's not going to regrow that. But if you're thinning, you have medication, hair loss, I've seen it for myself on a client. It works amazing. But they're coming out with that men's line.
I saw that.
And, little secret, they're coming out with an eyebrow enhancer or thickener. Invati brow thickener. Isn't that cool?
That's very cool. I know a few people that could use that.
I know. As we get older, you know, I look at these young girls, my daughters, and the perfect eyebrows. I didn't fuss with my eyebrows when I was their age.
Nope.
I didn't wax them. I didn't tweeze them. I didn't do anything. They were just like there until you like get to that point where you're in the salon world. Oh, Sharon, you really need to wax your eyebrows.
Get rid of the caterpillars, and there should be two eyebrows.
So you know, I kind of learned into being into this industry a little bit more conscious of things like that. But that's pretty cool. That's exciting. I'm not sure when that's going to be launching. I think she said maybe the summer sometime. So we'll have to watch out for that, and we'll definitely have it available in the salon.
Very exciting.
So that's really cool. So fashion show stuff.
Yeah.
It's coming along.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of dresses hanging in the back of the salon that
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5 completed.
I think it's 5 completed.
And I'm almost done the 6th. I'm working on the 7th. And I'm getting the remainder of the outfits the next couple of weeks.
And you've got the blisters to show for it.
I do. You folks don't want to see my hands. This has been, I'm either cutting myself with my scissors these days or I'm burning myself. The project that I'm working on now is a unique dress, I will say. The material is very thin,
Very gauzy.
very difficult to work with the glue gun. So I need to figure out how I can master this, because this is going to be, I have a lot of work to do on this. Well, I was thinking, you know, that I looked in the drawer at the salon, the finger mitts that go to the Paul Mitchell iron.
The irons. You're going to ruin the mitt if you use that, though. Just go to the dollar store and get one of those gloves.
I need to figure out something, but I need something that is thin enough that I can work with. Because I was thinking, what can I put a paddle behind it and like press, you know? But even me pressing in front of it, the flower, it's like either way, it's because the flowers are light and small that I'm using on this dress, and the fabric is very light and very fragile. So I have to figure out something.
Get a pair of gloves. Well, you could probably get some neoprene gloves that are very similar in material to the Paul Mitchell glove that goes with the iron.
Where would I get that? Think like the
mechanics store.
Yeah. Oh, but Michael's or AC Moore should have something like that. I have to go there later. I have to check it out. I have to get some more peacocking looking feathers. That's fun. I'm waiting for the other outfits. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm doing until I get them. So it's pretty cool, but I got to get going on this dress that I'm working at. I want to get done with her because she's going to be a lot of work. Kind of like the wedding dress.
Yep.
But not as, you know, detailed. But, we have something to mention. Aveda fashion show.
Yes.
Sunday, April 3rd. We are going to be in Boston. I forget the name of the hotel we're going to.
I didn't look that closely at the paperwork. I just go where you tell me to.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that. I mean, we're doing our own fashion show that, you know, I'm doing all the clothing, and you and I are going to be doing the hair and makeup that day for our fashion show for Sunday, April 17th. But this fashion show is going to be at a hotel in Boston, a little bit more of an audience because, you know, this is an Aveda company putting it on. It's going to be unique and cool, and I'm hoping that they really think that the wedding dress that I did is really unique and cool. But I think we're going to be impressed with, like, things that other people do.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Next year, I want to be a little bit more creative. Not that I haven't been creative this year, but I'd like to kind of design a couple of outfits from scratch. I've kind of just been redoing pieces because that's what I've had the time to do for this year, just getting into it. But I'm really excited. You know, it's going to be a big kind of runway, kind of, I don't know. Pictures are going to be online. They're going to video it. You're going to be, like, famous.
Something like that.
I'm going to have to try and video it so we can upload it to the YouTube channel. You know, definitely.
For sure.
So some of the fuchsia in your hair is going to match with some of the fuchsia in the dress that we did. And anybody that knows us or friends with us on Facebook or even Instagram has had a sneak peek of our wedding dress. But that was the only sneak peek they got. Although I was here on one of my shows, I did bring the bridesmaid dress that I redid. So I let 2 dresses.
That's okay.
A little sneak peek into
2's not bad.
Kind of what we're doing. So how do you feel about doing the runway thing at the Aveda, like doing the hair and makeup and experiencing it with like all the models?
Well, considering that I will be both doing some of the prep work and actually walking myself, it's a little nerve-wracking, but I'm not shy, so it's no big deal as long as I can remember how to walk in heels, because it's been a couple years since I've had to do that.
I know, yeah, what are you going to wear?
I have no idea. I have to find something.
It was fun putting you in the dress. Everything pretty much still stayed intact. That's what I'm nervous about.
Yeah, as long as it survives the trip to Boston, we'll be okay.
I know. We're going to have to put your seats down because, I mean, I can't fit it in my car.
Nope.
have to put your seats down in your SUV. I mean, literally, the train is like full of leaves.
Yep.
And it's
stiff.
It's stiff.
It's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hard to move in.
Yes. There won't be no sitting down.
Mm-mm.
So you'll just have to find something with like a little heel. It wasn't that long for you, was it?
No, I just need like maybe an inch or two. It was pretty close.
Yeah.
So I
just
think,
just for the part that you gotta, do the runway.
yep.
thing.
And then something I can kick off.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
You thought you were gonna kick me every time I said that.
I'm so used to you saying it that it didn't.
Well, at least I'm picking it up in my conversation now versus sitting back and watching, being
This is
horrified. If she says that one more time, we're not going to say that. Yeah, so I am totally excited. I've never done anything like that before. I've been to an Aveda fashion show. They did a little one in, I think, Rhode Island I went to. It was on a smaller scale. It was pretty cool, but I've never done anything like this, so I'm excited to see people's reaction when you walk out. What they think about the dress and the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
The hair will kind of flow with the outfit a little bit. I have to find a piece to do that
Yeah, we'll
fuchsia. Do a little
I'll have to
to
go
the
get a
side
comb or
hairdo,
something.
you know. So, anything else you want to talk about before we kind of wrap up? We got about another minute or so.
I honestly don't.
You have nothing to
Nothing
share?
today. No, nothing.
How do you
really.
feel with the long hair?
Very weird. I'm still not used to it.
It looks so good.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of compliments on it for sure. But I haven't had long hair like this since I was a teenager. So it's really weird. And my boys keep like climbing up into my lap and pointing and saying hair, hair, and looking at me kind of funny. But
It looks awesome. I love it.
thanks.
It's so much fun to transform what people look like.
Yeah.
Like we did it before and after and during, which we need to do a final take on your hair so we can upload that to YouTube.
Yep.
Keep forgetting to do that. We have to do that today. But it's great to add thickness, length, even a pop of, a few colors in there is always
Absolutely.
fun.
Yep.
People have different needs for different things,
Mm-hmm.
and we are available to do that. So thank you for being on my show again. My little
Anytime.
co-host, you know you love it.
Of course.
You will be on several more times.
I'm sure.
Okay?
Yep. Yep.
All right, thank you.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.